The movie begins with a girl named Chichak and her mother. Chichak feels that her mother does not love her, and she always puts her will on her, although she has never hated her mother. In the present, Chichak is 18 years old. She waited for that day for a long time. Although there were not many strict restrictions, she still thought that when she was 18, she wished to spend her life in her way. She asks for a wish while lighting candles and tells God that she is 18, and she had never touched a boy until that time. She has kept her innocent mind, which makes her very happy. She prays to God that she will find someone who will love her immensely and love her as much as he loves her. On Chichak's 18th birthday, her mom gave her a hairband that was very close to her mom's heart. Chichak's mother tells her that there are only 2 hairbands like that in the world. She has lost one, and the other one is her gift. After that, Chichak meets her friend Sewell. They both celebrate. After some time, Chichak wants to see her boyfriend, Kudrat. Chichak knows that Kudrat only wants to get intimate with her, while Chichak only wanted to get intimate with a man who she loved. She still came and met Kudrat. So that she is not lonely, she tells Kudrat that she is 18 years old, and it was her birthday. Kudrat gives her a gift and then tries to convince Chichak to come close to him. However, Chichak takes her gift and leaves, and she went to college. Chichak enters the classroom quickly because she is late. She thought that the class must have started. While talking, she discovers her old teacher has had an accident. The principal tells everyone that the teacher won't be able to take classes for a few days, and a new teacher has come from the city instead of her. Until the old teacher comes back, the new teacher will take their classes. A man named Dohan enters the class, who is 45 years old, and starts telling the student about himself. Then he sees Chichak. After seeing Chichak, Dohan is suddenly stunned. He feels as if he has seen Chichak somewhere before. He asks Chichak's name and her surname. They were extraordinary for the whole class and Chichak herself. He also gets worried about this. After seeing Chichak, Duhan starts behaving strangely. However, Duhan had started to like Chichak at first sight. Her beauty had trapped him. After that, he ignores all his thoughts and starts lecturing the class. Chichak was also attracted to Duhan. While giving the lecture, she could not move her eyes. She started to think that the wish she had asked in the morning had been fulfilled, and the person God has sent her is Duhan. She starts feeling something for Duhan in her heart. Later, Chichak and her friend text Duhan to bother him. While Duhan was a decent guy, he didn't care about these things. Chichak had fallen and had love at first sight. She had fallen in love for the first time. Because of that, her behavior had changed. Her mother also notes her. After some days, one day, while taking class, Chichak was doing her work, and Duhan was staring at her. Suddenly, Chichak sees him, so Duhan lowers his eyes. Every time Chichak looked at him, he would turn his eyes away. Meanwhile, Chichak was excited because she had fallen in love for the first time, and Duhan was also noticing her. She was pleased. The person she has started to like is also interested in her. Later, she always thinks about Duhan, and one day, she searches for him on the internet. She takes pictures of him, and she keeps looking at his picture all night. However, Chichak's mother was concerned for her daughter. She had been through love at her age. She knew why Chichak was excited. Chichak's mother tells her dad that Chichak is in love. Later the next day, Chichak was in class, and Duhan told her to collect everyone's test. That was the first time he started talking to her. After that, he smiled, talked to her, and gave her a book as a gift. At home, when she opens the book, there is a letter that says she is very different from others. After seeing that letter, Chichak was very excited. Her love for him increases even more. Moreover, even after all that, Duhan did not talk to her as she wanted. The next day, Chichak followed him into the library to get close to Dohan. She starts looking at him quietly. When Dohan sees her, he knows that she is attracted to him. He tells her not to follow him and leaves. Chichak gets hurt because she thinks he loves her. Later in class, Chichak gets angry. When Dohan was lecturing in the class, Chichak stood up and started reading a poem. Although she was telling him the condition of her heart, she was expressing her love for him. The whole class was confused, while Duhan knew what Chichak wanted to say to him. However, Duhan still did not want to get involved in a relationship with his student. He didn't give her any response. After that, she gets even more hurt. Meanwhile, her love for Du-han had now become her obsession. Chit-chak could not hide her feelings for Du-han even if she wanted to. Later that night, Si-woo was upset with her boyfriend. That's why he writes her name on the ground to convince her, and he sets her name on fire, which was a romantic gesture. After seeing that, Chit-chak's emotions get out of control. She doesn't care if it is day or night. She went to Du-han's house to see him. Meanwhile, Du-han gets worried seeing her. Then, she tells him she wants to take private classes with him, and she will pay him for that. She tells him that her friend is getting married soon, and she wants to write something she can give her as a gift on her wedding day. Du-han knew that Chit-chak was doing all that to spend time with him. He tells her that she is wasting her time. She should focus on becoming a doctor. Why is she thinking about poetry? Then, he tells her to go home. While Chit-chak is stubborn, she does not go home and sits on the stairs outside. She writes a beautiful poem and slides that paper towards Du-han from the bottom of the door. Meanwhile, Du-han does not read the letter and throws it in the trash. Although Du-han had also fallen in love with Chit-chak, he knew it was wrong because Chit-chak was 20 years younger than him, and she was his student. However, he couldn't resist her love for long. After thinking for a while, Du-han finally removes that letter from the trash and starts reading it, and he likes Chit-chak poetry. On the other hand, Chit-chak's current focus is on anything else. She is in love with Du-han's memories. Meanwhile, her mother knows that Chit-chak is in love with someone, and because of that, she behaves differently. The next day, Du-han himself comes to talk to Chit-chak. He tells her that what she wrote was beautiful despite its mistakes. Chit-chak asks him that he should teach her how to write. Du-han then asks her if she wants to write about her friend. She wants to write a love-filled poem. He asks her if she has ever loved someone so much that she could give her life for him or marry him. At that moment, Chit-chak had no answer. Chit-chak tells him that she was young for that. She has never loved anyone like that yet. Du-han then says she was right. She was young for loving someone. She has never even kissed anyone yet. He says it is difficult to write about something before experiencing it, and after he says that, he leaves. Chit-chak gets into deep thought. Later, she went to see Kudrat to get experience. She does not do much with him. She kisses him. However, while kissing him, a woman from the town sees them together. Chit-chak is happy after her first kiss. She again wrote a poem and went to meet Du-han. She gives him her poetry, and after reading it, Du-han likes her poem. She has also written that if he remembers, he told her she couldn't write such romantic poetry without loving and kissing someone. That's why she did it with someone for experience. After hearing that, Du-han gets very upset. He realizes that if he leaves Chit-chak, people can take advantage of her. After that, he agrees to give her private lessons if she promises him that she will never do it again that day. She promises him and agrees to his condition, and after that, Du-han starts giving her private lessons. Both of them spend all their time together. Chit-chak was happy with him, while Du-han also loved Chit-chak. However, he holds himself back because of the age difference between Chit-chak and him. Moreover, Chit-chak's attitude towards her mother also changed, and she was behaving nice. After a few days, Du-han told Chit-chak that she had learned to write, and he won't give her private lessons anymore. She can write a good poem at her friend's wedding, while Chit-chak did not care about anything. She was happy to be with Du-han. On the other hand, that woman from town who had seen Chit-chak and Kudrat kiss tells Chit-chak's mother about her relationship. When Chit-chak comes home, her parents ask her why her behavior was changed. They know she is seeing someone, but don't tell her they are talking about Kudrat. They get angry at Chit-chak. She asks her father if he has ever loved anyone. They both also had a love marriage. If she loves someone, then what is wrong with that? However, her mother talks rudely to her, and because of that, she gets furious and comes out of her house. That night, she calls Du-han and asks him to come to the forest. Chit-chak's friend has a small house in that forest where they only come in summer vacation. Later, she shows Du-han her writing story, and Du-han tells her that her story was very romantic and good when she read it at the wedding. People would like it for sure. Then Chit-chak asks Do-han if he will come to the wedding. Do-han says that he won't come because his old teacher will come back that week and he will leave the town. She gets hurt after hearing him, and she starts crying. when Do-han sees tears in her eyes. He couldn't control his emotions, and he got close to Chichak. They start kissing and get intimate, and finally spend the whole night together. Chichak was happy with her time with Do-han. However, when Chichak wakes up in the morning, she sees that Do-han has already left. She gets worried and doesn't understand why Do-han left without saying anything. Later, she went to college to see Do-han. She was behaving weirdly. Sewol also noticed her. After a while, the principal came there. She told them they won't have a class that day, and then Chichak asked her teacher where Mr. Do-han went. The principal said that he wouldn't come to her class after that day. After hearing that, Chichak got even more upset. She couldn't understand what had happened to her, so she woke up from the class and went straight to Do-han's house, where she found a tape recorder and a letter. Chichak plays that tape recorder, and then Do-han tells her that there are many questions between them. However, he doesn't have the answers. What she thought was love was her madness. It often happens at her age, and he, too, got carried away with his failings and had an affair. She couldn't understand what she was doing. He told her to stay away from love and poetry for a few days, and she will be fine. Meanwhile, Do-han had no idea her love was real, and she couldn't forget him. However, it was difficult for Do-han to stay with Chichak when he left her and went away. Chichak's condition gets bad. Meanwhile, when Chichak's mother comes to her room, she was not in her room, and when she asks her where she was last night. Moreover, Chichak was in pain, and her heart was broken. Then her mother says she knows she was with Qudrat last night. When she hears that, she gets even angrier. Chichak tells her to leave her alone, and she also says that she was not with Qudrat last night. However, her mother did not leave her, and she started shouting. And then Chichak also gets angry, because she had not seen her mother's love in 18 years. She thought her mother hated her. She starts telling her mother everything one by one. Chichak says that she has forced her rules on her, and she has always given her old clothes, and she has never given her love. Chichak brings her mother to her room and shows her old photos. She says that in these pictures, she has never picked her in her hands. She was always in someone else's arms. And then Chichak starts crying. She tells her mother that the man she loves has left her forever, and her heart was sad. She was in pain. Chichak asks her mother to reduce the pain and asks her to hug her. When her mother hears all that, she is shocked, because Chichak was hiding so much in her heart. Later at night, Chichak's father explained to her that her mother loved her. She doesn't know how to express her feelings. However, now Chichak couldn't understand. Many days later, as time passed, Chichak's condition was getting worse. Chichak's mother finally realizes that she has not had a loving relationship with her daughter. She once again tries to form a new relationship with her daughter, while Chichak didn't understand anything. Finally, the day of her friend's wedding comes. Chichak went there and told her written story. She was also singing there. At that moment, once again, Do-han came there, and Chichak's mother saw him. She went to meet him and asked him what he was doing there. Then Do-han shows her Chichak's scarf, and she understands that the person Chichak loves is Do-han. It was revealed that Chichak's mother already knows Do-han. Chichak's mother asks Do-han if he told her everything, and Do-han says he hasn't told her anything. Do-han says that when will she tell Chichak the truth. After saying that, he leaves. Later, after the wedding was over, Chichak went to see Qudrat. She starts drinking with him and asks him to come with her. They both leave from there. Qudrat was thinking that Chichak would do something with him that night. However, when he starts to touch her, he sees Chichak crying. He gets worried seeing her and understands that Chichak has not come to do anything with him. She has come to drink. Qudrat tells her that he will go to her home. When they were going home, Chichak sees Do-han's car. She instantly tells Qudrat to stop the car and runs towards the house. She goes to the door and starts calling Do-han's name loudly. She was telling Do-han that he had no right to break her heart and then leave her. She was angry and was screaming. Suddenly, Do-han comes behind and tells her he was looking for her in town. Chichak slaps him hard and asks, why did he leave her without saying anything? Chichak was very angry, however. Her anger calmed down, and she hugged Do-han, and then they come inside and love each other. While talking, Chichak asks him that she knows he is older than her. and he must have loved a girl before her, and she wants to know about her. Doohan replied to her that he had been in love before. He used to love a girl before. She used to go to college like her, and her name was also Chichak-like. On the other hand, Chichak's mother was burning something. Seems like she was erasing some evidence. Chichak's father tells her that she doesn't have to do that. One day, Chichak will find out the truth. While Chichak's mother says that she will never find out the truth, Chichak's father says that Doohan will tell her everything, and she will find out the truth. The next morning, Doohan tells Chichak that he is going out to bring groceries, and she should wait for him. Chichak was happy in the room. She was cleaning the room when she sees Doohan's bag. While searching through the bag, she sees a small box. At first, she wanted to see inside. However, she doesn't do that. And then, after a while, she gets curious. Finally, she opens the box, and she was surprised to see the same hairband in that box, which her mother gave her as a gift on her birthday. And at that, she told her that there were only 2 of them. She lost 1 year ago. Chichak does not understand how he got the hairband. She thought that Doohan had an affair with her mother. She goes out of the house in anger. When she went to her house, Chichak's father was already standing at the door. He asks Chichak that she beg her not to ask any questions to her mother. Meanwhile, Chichak didn't listen to him. She goes inside and asks her mother if only she had those hairbands. Then how did Doohan have one of them? Chichak asks about her relationship with Doohan and asks her why she was hiding from her. Chichak's mother tells her that she gave birth to a girl many years ago. Chichak tells her that she has no interest in listening to stories. She wants to know the truth, and then Chichak's mother shows her a picture. In that picture, there is a girl who looks like Chichak. Chichak asks her who she is. Her mother tells her that that was Chichak's elder sister. She was 18 years old when she got cancer. The doctors told her that she could only live for 1 year. The only way to save her life was if she had a brother or sister whose bone marrow could be transferred to her. Only then can she survive. That's why she gave birth to her, so she could save her daughter. However, when she was born that day, her elder sister died. The reason she gave birth to her could not be fulfilled. She became meaningless. Chichak always asked her mother why she never loved her. Whenever she saw her, she remembered her elder sister. She gave birth to her so she could save her sister's life. However, she could not save her. Chichak's mother says that when her sister was 18, a man loved her more than his life. That man was Doohan. She also says that the hairband in her hand was of her elder sister. She gave it to Doohan. Her sister wanted to become a doctor. That's why Chichak's mother wanted Chichak to be a doctor. And the person she loves, she has also got it from her sister. After listening to her mother and knowing the truth, Chichak was shocked. She was worried that after 18 years, her sister's love returned to her. Here, it was revealed when Doohan saw Chichak for the first time. He was so surprised because 18 years ago, the girl he loved, her name was also Chichak, and she looked just like Chichak. He saw Chichak, and he was surprised. He started searching to know if Chichak was the same girl or someone else. After knowing the truth, Chichak could not live with her mother. She shifts to the city. After a few months, Doohan was looking for her. She finally meets Doohan. Doohan calls her from behind. Chichak looks at her. And with that, the movie ends here. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe. See you next time. Take care.